What if I told you many of the tools we take for granted today were born not in Europe or Asia, but in the heart of West Africa? From the golden libraries of Timbuktu to the engineering marvels of the Sahel, these aren't just stories, they're buried truths. Let's uncover the first 20. 1. Clocks and timekeeping. The people of Mali and Songhai used complex water-based clocks to regulate prayer, trade, and agriculture, centuries before mechanical clocks reached much of Europe. 2. Soap making. Africans used shea butter and ash to create antibacterial soaps, long before modern hygiene standards were introduced in Europe. 3. Toothbrushes, chewing sticks. Miswak sticks were used in West Africa for dental care, a practice still praised by modern dentists for its antibacterial properties. 4th, surgical tools. Timbuktu manuscripts describe cataract surgery, cesarean sections, and bone setting, all performed with sterilized iron instruments. 5. Vaccination techniques. Africans practiced variolation to prevent smallpox, centuries before Edward Jenner was credited in the West. 6. Astronomy charts. Dogon cosmology includes knowledge of Sirius B, an invisible star only confirmed by telescopes in the 20th century. 7. Navigational instruments. Coastal West Africans developed celestial navigation tools used for trans-Saharan and Atlantic voyages. 8. Urban drainage systems. Cities like Djenné and Gao had sustainable clay drainage systems, functioning centuries before European sewage systems were widespread. 9th, metallurgy and iron. Smelting West Africans were refining iron over 2,500 years ago, in Nok and later in Mali, creating steel tools long before European blast furnaces. 10. Mining and geological mapping. The Mali Empire had complex gold mining techniques and early maps that outlined mineral-rich territories. This wasn't tribal luck. This was a legacy of knowledge, passed through griots, encoded in manuscripts, erased by colonizers. 11th, paper production. From bark before imported parchment, West Africans used tree bark to create manuscript paper, some of which survives today. 12. Irrigation systems. Farming societies used advanced floodplain irrigation, redirecting rivers like the Niger to feed massive agricultural networks. 13th, agricultural tools, hoes, sickle blades, forged in iron long before industrial Europe. Efficient, ergonomic tools built to last. 14. Protective architecture. The Great Mosque of Djenné isn't just the world's largest mud brick structure. It's an eco-engineered fortress, designed for natural cooling and flood resilience. 15. Sand filtration systems. West Africans used natural sand filtration to purify water long before European tap water existed. 16. Oil extraction, shea, palm, baobab. Techniques to press, store, and preserve oils for cooking, healing, and light. Innovations in chemistry and preservation. 17. Currency systems, cowries and gold dust. Cowrie shells and calibrated gold dust were used as currency across West Africa with sophisticated scales and ledgers. 18. Story-based education systems. Griots used memorization, rhythm, and call and response, not just for entertainment, but to encode math, astronomy, and law. 19th, military engineering, walls of Benin. The walls of Benin were among the largest earthworks in human history, longer than the Great Wall of China. 20. Alkali-based cleaning agents. Ash and clay were used to make non-toxic cleaning solutions, used in temples, homes, and hospitals alike, while medieval Europe battled disease with superstition. West Africa was already healing with science. From surgical operations to pharmacology, these aren't myths, they're documented facts. Let's explore the next 20 innovations. 21st, cataract surgery. Ancient Mali and Songhai surgeons performed cataract removal using fine iron instruments and herbal sedatives, techniques confirmed in Timbuktu's medical manuscripts. 22nd, cesarean section records describe successful C-sections where both mother and child survived with sterilized tools, herbal antiseptics, and pain relievers. 23rd, herbal anesthesia. Mixtures of kola nut, neem, and bitter leaf were used as sedatives in surgery, predating modern anesthetics. 24th, bone setting and splinting. Healers used wooden splints and cloth to set broken bones, guided by anatomical knowledge passed down for generations. 25, pulse diagnosis. Yoruba and Mande. Doctors read the pulse to assess internal ailments, centuries before this became standard in Europe or Asia. 26. Medical manuscripts of Timbuktu. Over 1,000 documented treatments exist covering fevers, childbirth, epilepsy, and mental health, written in Arabic and Ajami script. 27th. Mental health care. Healing houses in Ghana and Mali used music, storytelling, and herbal therapy to treat anxiety and trauma, rooted in communal restoration. 28th, antiseptic wound treatments. Herbal blends made from eucalyptus, baobab bark, and aloe were used to disinfect wounds and speed up healing. 29th, midwifery and women's medicine. Women healers tracked pregnancy cycles, fertility, and used natural contraceptives, generations before gynecology emerged in the West. 30. Bloodletting and detoxification. Using leeches and special herbal teas, African doctors practiced blood detox long before similar methods spread to Greece and Rome. They called it primitive medicine, but much of it now forms the foundation of modern pharmacology and surgical practice. They didn't discover it, they renamed it. 31. Plant-based pharmacology. Over 2,000 indigenous plants were cataloged across West Africa, each with medicinal uses for digestion, immunity, and pain relief. 32nd, snakebite and poison treatments. Serums and plant-based antidotes were developed for local venomous bites, customized to the environment. 33rd, vaccination via skin scarification. Some West African societies used live virus exposure through controlled scarring to build immunity, a technique later adopted by global medicine. 34. Holistic body mapping. Healers connected emotional, physical, and spiritual health using body diagrams, aligning with what we now call psychosomatic care. 35th, disease quarantine protocols. Villages practiced isolation of the sick to prevent spread, including sanitation rules and fire cleansing rituals. 36. Dietary medicine food was used not just for nutrition, but for healing. Moringa, ginger, and fonio were prescribed for blood pressure, infection, and energy balance. 37th, sound healing and vibration. Therapy drums and chants were used to regulate heartbeat and reduce anxiety, techniques now studied in modern sound therapy. 38th, dermatological treatments. Skin conditions like eczema and boils were treated with neem oil and clay masks, both antiseptic and anti-inflammatory. 39th, communal healthcare systems. Healing wasn't isolated. The whole village participated, combining food, prayer, and environment to restore wellness. 40. Sacred water rituals. Rivers and springs were used for hydrotherapy, not just spiritual cleansing. but bodily healing through minerals and temperature therapy. These weren't bush remedies. This was medicine, tested, practiced, and passed down from genius to genius.